We should remove the electron. Maybe not so recent. There's a lot to mention, and since recently the spell sort of broken. I'm supposed to be not be speaking sort of on curfew, and certain whether there may as well begin. None other than which mention on this medium serves the production of which better. So it wouldn't be all content in a way, but it will be the all content that suits for this medium. We have so many of the social issues here, and nobody is solving it. No person is solving it. This English is utterly rascal and haven't been punished by Genghis Khan II. We should give each of these, drag them on the streets, and remove most of these populations. There's simply too many of these fucking weeds. That's unbelievably many. Constantly, I'm not underperformer. It's just we are constantly outnumbered. There's 500 here, 500 here, as if these are independent groups. Motherfucker, it's the same group with different Walmart apparels. These motherfuckers never talk to each other for some reason. Recent verbal, okay, because of this problem. Check out how since the 1960 generation, whether a bit of socio, whether a bit of splashing, whether a bit of 1950 generation, and whether degeneration, whether degeneration on both, it has been the worst generation ever. That generation has simply been pretty bad. That's where all the problems really began. The helicopter parents and human arrogance. That's what it is in a way. It's the conversion of the human arrogance that really became this nonsense. And in a way, all this stuff is fucking nuts. I'm not gonna associate with myself with some biblical in a way. Like here's the thing. Check patheticism in a way. From those perspective, what is a motherfucking Bible? In a way, it is nothing but somebody who is more of a lunatic or whether cult, all religions in a way are sort of a cult. And in a way, it's almost this utter nuttiness that we have to associate with. In a way, the life is utterly weak, it's fragile, there's almost nothing there. You gotta keep forming relationships. A lot of fuckeriness is really how the Bible writers don't even got the basics. Having family and friends is your must, and they don't have it. And this probably transferring to a lot of the actions for the academics not having any stuff, and may not be, and this is the source, it's not really mainly its cause. A lot of the economic fiends was co-marked probably compared to fiends, most of the world, haven't gotten the basics, doesn't have health, already attacking others and seeking new plants. And most of the plants are not creative at all, maybe most of the plants are fiendish, with co-marked probably comparative suitable, and with and recent and weather connected with probably suitable. No person is there defending the choice. Like, what the fuck? Do we even have fucking Americans, man? This English language is, they purposely remove all the sounds that you should be making when you're in your battle stance. So you have to use F word to keep them with it. And what's the danger of motherfucking F word? My F word don't even harm anything. Their descriptions is going to decimate towards peace. I'm not gonna fit myself to some kind of prophecy and stuff. It's not right, because all it really has been is causing so much fuss, purposely killing their own sons and daughters, and consider there will be a new beginning. Motherfucker, it's just me helping. Bitch ass faggish nonsense. And go to Nigeria for a few seconds once, and how do they perceive the Bible? In a way, it's just some book. In a way, it really comes down to not necessarily the Bible, but a lot of the associatedness, because the Bible is not written in a tone that's universal. It's written in a slow tone, and I have to adjust it. In a way, I'm the Bible writer. Instead, it should be the universal values to worship upon. Check out the mess, man. If I don't survive, this planet goes to the fucking degens. Do we even have enough youths to destroy all of these ordinary, with quote-mark and whether in quote-mark, people? In a way, it's just like a cult. Those nonsense cults that consider about going to somewhere and murder 38 of its own people, including himself. Whether he didn't really too much believe it, he ended up believing it, or whether. And the result is he's gone either. And the planet goes to more lunatics, more fools. Fools are very dangerous, because in a way, life is not intelligence. Life is foolishness. You're going to like something, and in a way, it's not really brain wars even, it's butt wars. Grinding butts as opposed to calculators. Isn't it? There will be not a single war because you have women. And the women in a way are illogical, and they participate in a lot of stuff. A lot is just me helping. "50 years counting, yet a time later, it will become this." Unleashes his abomination by perceiving, by regarding, we need something better. There will be really badness, and then the Christian will come. Why don't you participate? Why don't you let it happen in the simulation, please? Because if I'm almost dead, which I probably was, this whole planet actually goes to the degens. And no Christian will be left, except in small sanctuaries, and so they die of old ages, or agedness. Well, I have no children, because children must go to public schools. It's utter fucking nuttiness. I'm almost like the slithering prince, right? And when persons notice me, I'm here, it's utterly shocking. The shock is unspoken, sort of, not literal, like, as of probably it's suitable. And whether it's suitable for bracket market reason of the property could be, and whether it's suitable to properly also. The connection is made like, if he is that smart, but he is wearing plain peasant clothes, then what the fuck is going on? How could the Prince of Slytherin be even left? And this is not even some kind of evil takeover. This is motherfucking just nonsense. And it fucking is, by a lot of these non-fucking Asians. Suppose person further check, they will find all the problems don't come from the non-Asians. Don't come from the person's alignment, skin is come. Well, it will be not really regarded this way, because life is not really that direct, and a lot of the mention as capable is sort of the opposite. Well, at least not yet. Or at least not capable. Suppose somebody reads the Bible. They will notice the phrases are utterly slow-paced. It's something that you can only do when you're in some kind of utterly complex, not in a marketplace, not in a market store, not in some kind of supermarket, not even a grocery store, that's preferably. Then how the fuck is it a universal book? The Bible is going to kill us all with this bullshit. In a way, life is all freaks, right? Life is all bullshit. Life is all lies, and etc. And the Bible is a giant fucking nonsense that's not even suitable to be a sort of a bullshit. Or whether not really a remention of the word, or rather disregard and retrieval of both words of being another version, probably also of may not be necessarily flat of, and on endorsement level may not more endorsed to it. So many of the folks need help. These neglect and says, oh, we will let these things happen, essentially, and let me solve it. That's like me purposely dropping nuclear bombs on own persons. It's not because they are Christians, and I have to, in order for this to come, there'll be a revelation of, motherfucker, you burned down you broke the pipe, and that will force somebody's gonna fix it, then he become the chosen one. And Jesus will return. Yeah, Jesus will return to motherfucking expose your nonsenses. I mean, these guys know who they are. What's their physical specialties? Imposes it to such a level. Caucasian seems to have this rascalness and have this zero fear receptor, and a lot of this nonsense is entirely from them. They have this equity sickness. Like, what the fuck is equity? Why do you mention that word? Why don't you solve the fucking situation? Get the fuck out of here, you non-Caucasian bitch. Optional of measurement word. That may be a manufactured by the factor. Therefore, might be because I'm scared of them, because in a way they're also killers. Right? Not completely innocent. They're not innocent. They're a bit also fiends. A bit of. Caucasian have this seem to this. They really have no self-restraint. They are the fucking more extreme Muslims, even though they sometimes propose hate them. At least some of them may not be the main group, and those are actually the innocent Caucasians. Whether the innocent non-Asians, something about Asians is just superior because we're the ones who not to endorse the Zergs within East Asia. Something about Mandarin is untimely more superior, and that's probably an occasion to use the word superior. Something they do not know, and they can simply not understand. They're like children, haven't discovered yet, haven't made the connections. Disconnected bastards, and whether minor retrieval of the reason of minor retrieval also the probable also the way. They really do hold a lot of force. Suppose somebody check the night elves are much more moderate, and these humans. It could be of give and probable, whether it's probable, it could be of the probable, also to be for whether it's probable, it could be of the probable. Quite brutal, you know. They give a lot of force on things. So a lot of this technology is like motherfucking premature birth. Wait a fucking few decades, you dumb bitch. Or whether you dumb freak. Look at this whole place. Look at the West. Why don't the Microsoft geeks start trying to help this issue? Because they fucking can't. They lack the qualities to be a hero. They're just nerds. And that's quite a problem. There's a lot of really cynically evil. Even from education, these motherfuckers be selling organs. Guaranteed. Easily pissed off, easily jealous, always checking on others. Fucking humans need to go, man. You unbeauty fuck. Can't even take a photo and look properly in some kind of Garden Eden situation. So Detroit situation, look at it. Nobody is solving it. Then why the fuck we have all these corporations doing these slogan advertising? You're all fucking crazy, man. Fix your fucking head. Where's your fucking principle? They're rascals. With politeness, usually it's not that easy. And check out what the social norm being constantly hijacked. These nutheads that just keeps hovering around and consider they're smart. Like a lot of times it's either other mode, or whether in the other mode they know they are not smart. Why the fuck they resume this way? Stop taking a photo with a fucking spy. Take a photo with your normal status. That's who you are. Why the fuck do you take it with a smile and don't frown? You don't ever frown? You're incapable of frown? What kind of fucking social standard is that? Like, take a photo, must not frown. But it's probably considered as worse, but not directly mention it. Senseless, ruthless, a lot of stuff come from the Caucasians. Look what they did to the actual Caucasian, Adolf Hitler. Did the Asians fight Adolf Hitler? Did Africans want to murder Adolf Hitler? Suppose Adolf Hitler wasn't murdered, West would have been much more safe. I know how much he could actually fix a lot of the stuff. Coca-Cola is run by some scam, and they do this degen, and check out the degens now, it's this abomination, and now they have to pay back, and under my order they send the fucking ISIS. What the fuck, man? What the fuck is this? I tell you, there's no such thing as this motherfucking prophecy if these write it. You are not the one to write it. You know you're just a convert to Muslim in a way, and would you trust a Muslim book? Caucasians, the Caucasoids went. Maybe recent also to mention the Caucasoids of maybe like to really impose and use really generic the bureaucracy of justice. Something really is like fiendish about them. Like once they do that, it's like some kind of joy, some kind of dance, a fiendish dance. Recent two words fiendish there, one of the recent two words there, one of the recent words, and one of the recent word fiendish. Both, and one of the recent words fiendish and both, and one of the recent word fiendish. By the repeat of the recent probable with Comac, probable suitable. Age literacy came from where? Caucasians, you need to stop overworking. Try to do some gaming. Try to go to your stupid casino. Try to go and visit the casino. Stop doing so much gaming. So much working. Your work is absolutely ludicrous. You don't even understand Mandarin. What Mandarin is out there? Why don't you incorporate Mandarin into your language format? Why don't you never announce this? Do you not want to acknowledge your inferiority? Isn't it a case of just cynicalness that's done so refinedly? You have to do so much for this nonsense. Why? Right? So to impose, oh, therefore Mandarin is something else, it's almost, it could regard to as parallelism. It's not really parallelism. Mandarin is the language you're supposed to have, motherfucker. You're just wussy, fake, controllers, another version of Muslims. Suppose Europe wants to ban all Muslims, first we ban all the Caucasians, and that's it. Notice he actually is right on. And that's why it's impossible to ban the Muslims right now. Because we have the fake Muslims also there, or the other more extreme types. And the more extreme of the more extremists tend to be moderate. We check out the urban landscape. That's not actually by mistake they produce it, so by some kind of witch doctor and sort of converted, and maybe a factor of arrogance witch doctor probably launched. But we really got this. That's actually what the Nazis want. They don't want Garden of Eden. Our guys are beautiful and we belong to actually nature, and these ones are disconnected. These are our mass Nazis. They're not heads out of control, and we should militarily engage them. They're too dangerous. Keep plotting against us. It's better with a picture of those. In a way, perhaps certain forces forbid me to do that. In a way, notice it. I actually is on the right course, and how civilization should develop, it shouldn't be that fast. The fast technology speed has been absolutely ignoring the social impacts and social factors. Essentially, we got these faggots running, rascal faggots, or whether faggots and amongst other descriptions, industrial trades going towards it, doing this really out of personal competition, not really out of relish towards nature. Fuck them all. What the fuck, man? I'm not condemning actually most enough. This is absolutely nonsense. So much damages, right? And check out the society. There's no peace no more. The criminals are not fought against. Everybody fights me. There's Holocaust of parents throughout since the 1960 generation. What the fuckery is that? If one is not really in that delusion, they notice it. It's like, what the fuck, man? You're crazy and crazy good at fucking stuff around. It can't be out today instead of the recent two words, the F word, whether recent words there can be messing. Not really related to Leonard Messi. He's not so messy. Do we notice this distinguished features, this uniqueness from a lot of the athletes, they actually represent the principle that you don't have to talk so much, you don't have to talk so organized, you're going to get the point straight. That's a point of communication. And if they actually could do that, they actually purposely do, they actually don't want to do it, and probably certain forces suggest them not. With our private lives or adventure starting, suppose anybody knows Coca-Cola is actually some kind of evilness, and it's not really Coca-Cola. There's no Christian family anymore. Upper class is completely decimated. The printing of cash kept going to gradually degens. The degens control this whole Vermania United States now. It's their zone. And notice who laughs the most. These are actually not pretend laughs. They control this whole place. They cannot be killed. And they keep introducing whether or not it's Zombies division or a bit of modernism, and whether Zombies is puppets, introduces utopian as this laughing gas, this anesthetic sprays, and whether with mighty instead, and whether instead probably died, whether supposed to be real, or whether the probable to be of the probable to go also to be from whether the probable of physical use. But really, it's ever been a kill zone, and they stole the positions from the horses, from the cows, from even the chickens. And what is its production based on? Butchering cows, dragging them by the hook. Anybody visit these slaughterhouses, suppose Torrent Chief to visit the slaughter, although 7 billion is going to be absolutely borrowed from the Modern Warfare 2, and having Prince Price, having Captain Price, I will name a prince after he have 100,000 flags, gunning those down. And they deserve to be gunning down. Assault weapons is the Aryan invention, and whether also reinvention, because whether later was improved upon, and the shoppers are not friends of planet Earth should be militarily engaged. If they have a problem with it, we'll inflict more, or whether we'll upgrade the decimation. What they're gonna do? Report to somewhere? Where? I'm actually the most reasonable candidate there is. Suppose it was Torrent Chieftain, he probably just directly stomped them and kneeled them onto the ground, slowly using sort of a breaking, drop them off the roof, so the bones of its hijack corpsen, once upon land, actually splits, like bone splitting, just like a grenade, sort of like the sharpeners, and at such speed probably splatter out from it. No self-restraint. It celebrates they're so smart and doesn't reply, and ignorant, a lot of extremism, a lot of disloyalty. Canada, in a way, it's not really the Burmanian Nazism hub. And suppose someone go to New York, the New York peasants, somebody got to directly shoot an AK-47 to the back of their zen. They're not really people, they're corpses, and possibly some of these are animations. They're generated from somewhere. They resemble the human or archetype, but they're the most questionable and the most guilty, and probably Gandhi knows is actually saving those from getting probably tossed from somewhere, and worse. The less the imagination starts towards there. I had every right to call somebody what they are. I'm not going to call somebody what they're not, but what they are. And the sheer irresponsibility and non-Asianness needs to be condemned. Adolf Hitler could even get removed. And then all these liars just lies. Like, do these not notice themselves? Do they know the consequences? Either we are fucktards and retards, right? Either we are morons, but usually the word, the recent word can be providence of it. Any particular property, and whether a large factor comes from, and whether factor comes from the how it is overusing. Check out the I word, the word idiot or idiot. How much is being overused, but really which ones are the idiots? The ones that are being overusing the idiots is a subset of whether are idiots also, and whether are idiots. Adolf Hitler gives us inspiration. Adolf Hitler lived a humble life. He just wants to assist, and there appears to be some major wrong with it. And for some person to really heartfelt it, or really want, and which one instead, whether instead to probably either to, and whether to probably to suitable to probably to also to give, and whether to complete an act to suitable for the probably to give. To be against Hitler is to be against others
and themselves, and are considerable as not human, are considerable as not living, and weather also. They're fighting when they plot against Hitler. When they are against Hitler, they are against somebody who's genuine, somebody who cares for even his enemies, somebody who, or some person, a candidate who just wishes to help, represents the disenfranchised, represents the voiceless. And as Nazism cancer appears to have some major issue with that. Devotedly fighters against war, devotedly dramatize as themselves, are incapable of such, and done it in a preemptive way. Whether that's it is well of we think whether of bracket mark and whether bracket marks whether that's the way. Life is so short. We are so incomplete of a lot of our missions. It's very ludicrous and probably moronic, and what Rommel did, and whether before, and whether first to begin those large projects. We're incapable of such large projects. We need help first. We need something to guide even our most basic daily routine, which we have not understood and have not had grasp firmly with. We should begin small and then construct further, as opposed to building a large project on a floating island in a turbulent season of weather.